People keep asking me one of the best ways to make money and live in the Dominican Republic, so I finally decided to show you guys. And this is a very simple, straightforward way of doing this. And I would suggest this for people that are young, all the way from, 21 years old, all the way to, mid 40s. You can still do this if you're over, 45, 50, but it's kind of one of those things where, you're kind of earlier on in your career, you want to make some investment income and live abroad fairly decently. So, one of the first things I want to talk about is living expenses. Now, of course, you can find apartments for, let's say $200, $300, but I'm not living in those areas. I prefer to live in something a lot better. It's one of the first things I want to say is you can find like an entire house for like $700 a month. I'm not affiliated with these people. I just want to show you guys how I find houses. Um, you can actually buy a house, like an entire building. So this building, I found. I'm actually going to contact these people. It's three apartments, and it's for 345,000. And the rental rate. You can basically flip this house and make all types of money and so on. You can also buy some apartments, 82,000, all the way down to like 37,000. But that's not really what I want to get into. I'll get into that in the next video. I'll get more into how to actually make money. So, one of the key things that you can do is become a software engineer. So, what does a software engineer make? Like, let's go for guys that don't have any type of experience, that are entry level, that have never had a job as a software engineer in IT, and let's go into how much they make. Now it says the range is about 69 to 97,000. I'd say it's a little bit lower than that with no experience, but you should be in the 60s definitely. Um, Now there's a few articles on how to become one, but I'll kind of go more into that. And then this also depends on location. Like most people are not going to make $100,000 working remote as a software engineer their first year. You'll definitely be able to make $100,000 within your first 3 years. So by year three, four, you should definitely be making six figures. I mean, I definitely was, and this was several years ago. So now you could probably even get to this a little bit faster. Um, this salary, I would say, is more realistic. Of course, you can get higher than this, but you should definitely be making at least 60K entry level. And there's tons of jobs out there. Now, if you're remote, you might make a little bit less, but you'll definitely be able to live from the DR, live from Colombia, Brazil, Thailand by doing this. Now, one of the first things you're going to do is you're going to want to learn front end development. Front end just deals with the visuals of a website or mobile development. You'll create like different tags, and as you can see here, these tags can correspond to different elements on a page. So you can create a like button, video and so on. And I'll make a few videos on how to do stuff like this, like how to, create different websites. But for now, I just want to tell you guys, okay, how this is done at a very high level, and I'll dig deep later on in some more videos. Then you actually have your backend development. You can do both, or you can just focus on one. But backend development deals with like servers, moving data around, interacting with databases, and then sending that data from a database to a front end or a mobile application. So think of this as kind of like the middleman. Backend developers make a lot of money, and in my opinion, like this is something that I would definitely want to learn if I was an entry level person, not just front end, but definitely back end. And then databases, you have different types of databases like Postgres. You can also say MS SQL. Let's go here. This is for Microsoft. I really like dealing with MS SQL because you can really find a job fairly easy dealing with Microsoft products, and there's a lot of tooling that makes your job a lot easier for you, especially if you're dealing with like Azure. Let's talk about Azure SQL. And there's so much documentation that it acts as a support system for you, especially if you're getting to learn this stuff. And then you have your, MongoDB, which is a little bit different. This is another technology a lot of companies like to use. And you can definitely check some of these websites out. I'll be making some videos in the week about this, but these are great ways to like make money. And then mobile development, I would definitely stick to React Native because you get to make iOS and Android applications at the same time, but you can also make web applications now as well as Mac and desktop applications. So previously, this used to only be for phones, but now you can do full cross-platform. I really enjoyed doing this, and if you recognize React here is the framework, but this actually sits on top of different web engines, web frameworks, and mobile frameworks to convert to web and mobile applications. So you can just write this once and it'll work for both. And I'll make some specific courses that you guys can take for free, so don't worry about like having to pay for those. I'll have some paid stuff, but that'll be way more advanced and way down the line. I just want to get guys into learning these different products. Now, the first thing I would definitely say is start learning some of these technologies. I'll offer a lot of free courses on my channel. And I really want to get my channel away from, the girls, the mangoes, that type of thing, because I noticed that a lot of guys want to learn information on how to actually live abroad. Like I said, this is what you should expect to make. Entry level, no experience, maybe a little bit lower, but I would definitely say with the way the economy is now, you should definitely be able to make $60,000 starting out in the Dominican Republic or Colombia, which is great because your cost of living will be fairly cheap. And then let's say senior developer salary. You'll definitely make six figures. Like this is average. Honestly, in my opinion, you should probably make more than this. Like to me, this is a little bit low. Like as you can see here, if you're doing senior security developer, you're easily making 160 and then all the way up to 250. And then you have companies that try to lowball you. I mean, this I wouldn't even touch this. This is terrible. Um, let's see, but if when we're seeing like what people are making, these salaries in all honesty seem kind of low, but the market's kind of funny. But still, if you're making like 130 in the Dominican Republic, you're living like a king, and then you can invest that money and then buy properties. In the next couple videos, I'll kind of go over some of the tools that you can download to start learning development. Like these tools are free and you can use them on Mac or Windows. So don't like get stuck on, oh, hey, I have to have one specific platform. And once you have your money, you can definitely reinvest that into some various real estate properties. Thanks guys for watching, and the next couple videos I'll kind of go over web development and then also some investment strategies.